Welcome to Keypoint 800. In this video, I will be showing you how a 3-time perfect scorer on the SAT Math section takes the Math with Calculator section on the first official SAT practice test. Before watching this video, it is expected that you have taken the SAT Practice Test 1 so that you can compare your method of solving problems of mine. You can access this practice test by Googling SAT Practice Test 1 or by buying the official SAT book. Also, this video is intended for students with solid math fundamentals. This means that you should have a strong understanding of algebra and geometry and are scoring in the 700 range on either your PSAT or SAT. In the future, I will make videos for those with weaker fundamentals. It is also recommended that you are taking or have taken pre-calc, as it's the highest level of math on the SAT. In fact, I earned a perfect SAT math score at the end of 10th grade, which was when I just finished pre-calc. So let's talk about the Math with Calculator section. The time limit is 55 minutes. Ideally, you should be able to finish all the problems in 48 minutes. On average, I can finish this section in about 40 to 45 minutes. Although you should work fast to have enough time to check your answers, it's also important that you do not make careless mistakes on the easy problems at the beginning. Every question is weighted the same, so you should be getting all of the easy problems correct before solving the most difficult problems. Also, on this section of the SAT, I strongly recommend that you use a scientific calculator instead of a graphing calculator if you have solid math fundamentals. You can calculate numbers much faster on a scientific calculator because there are less buttons and your muscle memory is easier to develop. The buttons also take less force to push. Thus, you can save time by using a scientific calculator. So let's get started. Number 1 says John runs at different speeds as part of his training. The graph shows his target heart rate at different times during his workout, on which interval is the heart rate strictly increasing then strictly decreasing. So we want that events in that exact order with nothing in between these two increasing and decreasing intervals. So as I will eliminate answers as I go. Between 0 and 30, 0 and 30 is here. I can see it. This constant here is not decreasing too, so that's wrong. 40 and 60 is increasing then decreasing, so that looks good. Let's check the other answers. Between 50 and 65, that's decreasing then increasing. That's the wrong order, so that's wrong. And 70 and 90, there's continuity here, so that's wrong. So this is B. Number 2, y equals kx, where k is constant, and y equals 24 when x equals 6. What is the value of y when x equals 5? So we need to find out the constant by plugging these two values into this equation and then finding k. So we can see that k is equal to 4. So the equation is y equals 4x, so we plug in x here and we get 20. Number 3, if these are parallel, both of these lines are parallel, and if this angle is 35 degrees, what is the measure angle to? Well, we know from alternate alternate angles, this is also 2, and alternate exterior, this is 2, and then corresponding angles, this is angle 2. So you can see they're supplementary, so the angle measured 2 is 180 minus 35 degrees, and that's D 145. Number 4, if 16 plus 4x is 10 more than 14, what is the value of x 8x? So this is 16 plus 4x is 10 more than 14, so that's just 10 plus 14 is 24. Minus, you subtract, so 4x is equal to 8. So if we want 8x, we can multiply this whole thing by 2, and we get 8x is equal to 16, that's C. which of the following shows a strong negative dissociation? So we want it decreasing, so we'll eliminate answers based on that. So these two aren't decreasing, and we need strong, so that means they're tight around the best line of best fit. So the answer is D, since this is loosely correlated. Number 6, a hospital stores one type of medicine in a 2 decagram container. Based on the information given in the box above, how many milligram are there? How many 1 milligram doses are there in a 2 decagram container? So, so this is the dimensional analysis. They give us that this is what's given, and we need to find out how many of these are in it. So we have 2 decagrams. We're giving these conversion factors, so we can say that 1 decagram. Well, I'm gonna abbreviate this decagram. I'm not sure that's the correct pronunciation, abbreviation, but I'll go with it. So 1 decagram, 10 grams, and then 1 gram is 1,000. So these cancel, we're left with milligrams. So it's simply 2 times 10 times that, and we can see this 4 zeros, so it's 20,000 D. Our number 7 says the number of installations is that. We're giving this graph. What's the appropriate label? So first, we should add these, how many installations there are from the raw numbers. So on our calculators, we can do 9 plus 5 plus 6 plus 4 plus 3.5, and we get 27.5. And so we know that the actual number is 27,500. We can multiply by 10 to have a better factor. It's easier to divide. Okay, these cancel out. We're left with 1 here. So that's 1,000. So the correct answer is C, in thousands. Number 8, for what value of n is absolute value of n minus 1 and then plus 1 equal to 0? So we're given this, and if we subtract 1 on both sides, get this, and we know that absolute value can never equal a negative number, so there's no such value. So we're giving this equation. This is speed. A is speed, and then T is temperature. So now this equation, or this question, is pretty simple. It's just solving for T. So we would subtract this to that side and then divide on both sides. So we can't have this since it's not dividing by 1.08, and then we can have a plus because we need to minus both 1,552 both sides. So since we're subtracting this, it would be A would still be positive, so it's A. Which of the following air temperatures would the speed of sound be closest to 1,000 feet per second? So we're going to use this equation we just got to solve for T. So we do, so we have 1,000 minus 1,052 over 1.08. I can just plug that in right into the calculator. So 1,000 minus 1,052 divided by 1.08. We get negative 48-ish. Yes, negative 48. That's B. Number 11. Which of the following numbers is not a solution to the inequality? So we can solve this inequality by subtracting 3x both sides and adding 3 both sides, and we can see that -2 is greater than or equal to x. Well, easier way to read this would be like that, and the only number that's not less than or equal to -2 is -1, so that's A. Answer is A. Based on the histogram above, which of the following is closest to the mean of the number of seeds per apple? Well, first of all, we need the total number of seeds, and we can do that by getting the number of seeds and multiplying by this, which is basically a frequency, and that will give us the total number. So we can do this straight on the calculator to make it faster. So we can do 3 times 2 plus 5 times 4 plus 6 plus 7 times 2 plus 9 times 3, and then we need to divide it by the number of apples there are, so just add the y-axis. So 2 plus 4 plus 1 plus 2 plus 3, and we get 6.08, which is closest to 6, so that's the answer. Number 13, they were giving this chart, which of the following categories account for approximately 19% of all respondents. So we're looking at all survey respondents, and we're going to, so that refers to this number, and then we need to find out what exactly is 19%. So we can just take this number and multiply by 0.19 to then get how many things we're looking, what number we're looking for in the chart. That would be 19% of the total. So we get 58.9 for 19% of the total, and then 58.9. So what number is closest to 58.9 in this chart? Will be this number. So you can see that this is male taking geometry, so it's C. Okay, number 14. We're giving this table. This is 21 bullhead fish. This is their length. So this refers to, yeah, these are just a data set. The outlier is 24 inches. Of 24 inches here is an error. Of which of the mean, median, and range of the values listed, which will change most if the 24 measurements is removed from the data? So mean is the total sum of this divided by 21, and I don't think the 24 will affect it that much, because the number 24 is only one in a sample of 21, and so that wouldn't make much of a difference. So it's not A. And the median, it wouldn't change since it's the middle, and taking off the end won't change the middle that much. And then C, the range. This would be affected a lot because range is max minus min, and we're taking off 8 here, and that's a lot. So C. The graph shows the total cost C in dollars for renting boat for H hours. So what does C mean? Remember, this is in y equals mx plus b, and b is like the starting point in a real life situation, and it's also when it's equal to 0 hours. So it's, and synonym for start is initial. The answer is A. Number 16, which represents the relationship between H and C. We're going to see that first we should find a y-intercept, which is pretty simple. C, or not a C, the B value. and it's 5. So we're going to eliminate these two. Now we need to find a slope. So this is a difference of 3. So that's the rise, and the run is 1. So the slope is 3. The answer is C. To complete a graph of f is shown in the xy plane. For what value of x is the value of f of x as minimum? So just find the lowest value is here. What's the x value? 1, 2, 3, negative 3. So the answer is B. Number 18. In the xy plane, if 0, 0 is a solution, which of the following relationships must be true? So we have a y is negative, y is less than negative x plus a. So it's like this. 0 is solution, and then, or the origin is the solution, and then we have x plus b. It's like this, and it's greater than. So that must means that, so this is a, and this is b. So that's a is greater than b. Another way to do this is just to plug in 0 to both equations, or both inequalities, and then you get this. And you can rewrite this as b is less than y is less than a. You just take this out, you get the same thing. B is less than a, or a is greater than b. So the answer is A. A food truck sells salads for $6.5 each and drinks for $2 each. The truck fees revenue from selling a total of 209 salads and drinks in one day was $836.5. How many salads were sold that day? So this is, I think a systems of equations. Yes. Okay, so it's 6.5 for salad plus $2 for drinks is equal to, this is how much they made, 836.5. And then we have another one. We said that they sold 209 salads and drinks in one day. So they had S plus D equals 209. For this, we can use elimination by multiplying that by negative 2. So the equation changes to this system. So negative 2s minus 2d is equal to 418 negative. So we add it together. This cancels out. We need s anyways, a number of salads, so we're solving for s. So that works out. Minus 2 is 4.5s equals, you can do this in the calculator. So we get 418.5, and then divide by 4.5, we get s, we get 93. So the answer is B, 93. Number 20. Alma bought a laptop computer at a store that gave 20% discount off its original price. The total amount she paid to the cashier was P dollars, including 8% sales tax on the discounted price. Which of the following represents the original price in terms of P? So we can get the original price by saying that we'll just define the original price as X equals the original price. And then so to get to that P, we had a 20% discount, so that's 0.8. And then we also had sales tax 1.08 is equal to P. So to get the original sales price in terms of P, divide by 2 of those numbers to isolate X, and the answer is D. 21. We get this chart. So if a person is chosen from random who called at least one dream. So we're looking at this at least one dream group, which is this takes out this group. We're looking at these groups only, and then what is the probability that the person belonged to group Y? So then out of that, we're looking at these two. So we're going to add the group Y number, and then divide it by the total number of people, which would be 39 plus 125. Doing that, you get calculator. So we get alright, so this is the fraction we get from the calculator. 79 over 164. And the answer is C. Number 22, reverse this chart. Which of following best approximate annual rate of change? So that's means slope. And then in the agricultural / resources, natural resources from 2008 to 2010. So 2008 to 2010 is the change in the x value, which would be the run. So that's the run of 2. So now we need to find the rise or fall. And from 2000, we're looking at natural resources and agriculture. So we're looking at these two numbers. And if we subtract these two, just ignore these ends, that's about 130k. And 130k divided by 2 is 65. Yeah. 65,000. But this is in $1,000, so just add 3 zeros. 1, 2, 3. And the answer is B. 23. Of the following, which of the program's ratio of is 2007 to 2010? So we're looking at these values. Is most closest to the human resources program ratio. So human resources is this and this. So this is about 6 million, and then this is about 4 million. So 6 divided by 4 is 3 over 2. So we need to find a number of that similar ratio. So let's look at what was it, agricultural / natural resources. This is about 5. This is about 4. That's not the same ratio. That's wrong. B, education. This is 3 over 2. 3 over 2. So that looks good. Let's check the other ones. C, highway and transportation. This is about 2. This is about 1. Nope. And public safety. This is about 2 or 3. Or 4 or 5. And this is about 3. So that's like 5 or 3. That's not right. So the answer is B. You can also use your calculator, but this saves time. Number 24. Which of the following is an equation of a circle in which the xy plane with center 0, 4 and a radius with endpoint 4 over 3, 5. So it looks like something like this. So this is 0, 4. This is the radius. And we have a circle. And then so we know this. We can use the distance formula. So we know that it goes from 4 to 5, so that's 1. And then 0 to 4 over 3 is 4 over 3. And we can use Pythagorean Theorem, aka distance formula, to find the radius r. And we can see it is 16 over 9 plus 9 over 9, which is 1. 25 over 9 square root. But of course in the circle equation, r squared, so r squared is equal to 25 over 9. We can eliminate these two. So this is r. And then is the center is 4 up, and 4 up is this one, which is known from this part of the equation. Number 25, which equation above expresses the appropriate height of the ball in t seconds after it is launched vertically? Approximately how many seconds will the ball hit the ground? So the floor is 0, height is 0. So h is equals 0. So we can solve for t when h equals 0. We can do that by then 4.9. So you have t minus 25 is equal to 0. So then we have 4.9 t is equal to 25. So that's about 5 seconds. So D. Number 26, Katerina is a botanist studying production of pears by 2 types of trees. She noticed that A produced 20% more pears than B. So A equals 1.2B. This means 20% more. And if A produced 144, how many did B produce? So just plug in the values for A. Equals 1.2B. Divide, so 144 divided by 1.2. It's 120. The answer is B. Number 27. A square field measures 10 by 10 meters. Each 10 students mark off a randomly selected region of the field. Each region is a square and has side length of 1 meter. No 2 regions overlap. The students count the number of worms contained in the soil to a depth of 5 centimeters beneath the ground surface. Beneath the ground surface in the region, results are shown in the table. These are 10 regions, but it's 10 by 10, so there's actually 100. Should be 100 regions total in the field. So we can then estimate by adding all of these regions and just multiply by 10. So we can use the calculator. It's going to say 107 plus 147 plus 146 plus 135 plus 149 plus 141 plus 150 plus 154 plus 176 plus 166 is equal to 1471. Times that by 10 is equal to 14710, and that's similar to this, C, 15,000. So a system is graphed, which quadrant does not contain a solution, so we'll just graph it. So we have 2x plus 1, so it's like something like this. And then we have minus 1 here is 1/2. Slope is 1/2, so it's just like this. And then so here y is greater than, so it's this side. Then over here y is less than, so it'll be this side, or y is greater than, my bad, y is this side. So we can see that so we can see that there's no solution in the quadrant 4 is C. 29. For a polynomial, the value of P3 is -2. Which of the following must be true about P of X? So the value of P of 3 is -2. So this is true. The remainder of P of X minus 3 is -2. You would just have to know that from your pre-calculus class. Which of the following, number 30, which of the following is an equivalent form of the equation of the graph shown in the xy plane above? from which the coordinates of vertex A can be identified as constants of the equation. So we need this to show up in the equation, and that's of course called vertex form. So it's not these; those are these which don't show up. So a way we can look at this and see that, yeah, the only one is in vertex form is that one. So then you're good to go. Number 31. Y can husk at least 20 or 12 dozen ears of corn per hour, and at most 18 dozen ears of corn per hour. So Y is at least 12, at most 18. And then based on this info, what is the possible amount of time in hours that it could take him to husk 72 ears of corn? So so it's per hour. So we would do so we can have 12 W, which is hours. Well, so we have this equation here, Wx equals 72, where W is the number of corns he can make per hour, and then 72 is X is the number of hours. And so we can see that X is equal to 72 over W is equal to this thing. So it can be anywhere from 12 or 18, anywhere from 4 to 6, since 72 divided by 12 is 6. That's the most amount of time it can take. 72 divided by 18 is 4. So anywhere from 4 to 6 is the correct answer. I would just go with 4. It's easier division in my opinion. Or I would, never mind. I would go with 6, since 72 divided by 12 is a common multiplication fact. So number 32, the posted weight limit for a covered wooden bridge in Pennsylvania is 6,000 pounds. A delivery truck that is carrying X identical boxes, each weighing 14 pounds, will pass over the bridge. If the combined weight of the empty delivery truck and its driver is 4,500, what is the maximum positive value for X that will keep the combined weight of the truck, driver, and boxes below the posted weight limit? So the weight limit is 6,000. It has to be less than 6,000, or equal to. So a delivery box, it has each box is, they're carrying boxes which each weigh 14 pounds, so 14x, where x refers to the number of boxes. And then, so if the combined weight of the truck and its driver, empty truck, is 45,000 or 4,500, so this is simple. So let's just subtract it over, then divide on the calculator. 107. So that's your answer. You want to put bubble in 107. That's the maximum. Number 33. Observing this graph. What is the number of players sold in 2008? Okay, so is what fraction of the number sold in 2011? So we're making a fraction. This is so we have 2008, we have 100, and then 2011 we have 160. So is what fraction of the number sold in 2011? So we can do part 2 whole is equal to 5/8. That's our answer. Number 34. They sell time slots for programs in 30-minute intervals. The station operates 24 hours per day, every day of the week. What is the total number of 30-minute time slots the station can sell for Tuesday and Wednesday? Okay, so we have 2 days. Okay, so we're looking at 2 days. So this is irrelevant. So we have 2 days. This is another dimensional analysis, and then we have 1 day is equal to 24 hours, and then we have now we need to get down to minutes. 60 minutes, and then finally we get they sell them in 30-minute intervals, so that would be 30 minutes over 1 slot. So now we multiply the fractions. So we do, on the calculator, we do 2 times 24 times 60 divided by 30. We get 96. That's the answer. 96 slots. Number 35. He uses a cylinder. What the volume is that? What is the diameter of the base? So we know that the equation for a volume of cylinder is that, and then 72 pi is the volume. So we divide those over square root is equal to square root of 9 is equal to 3. So that's the radius. That's the radius 3. To get diameter, you multiply that by 2, you get 6. Answer is 6. And the next question, 36. For what value of x is this function undefined? So we know we can divide by 0, so it's undefined when this bottom denominator is 0. This denominator is 0. So we solve the bottom expression for 0. So distribute it first. So to combine like terms. Okay, and then this is a special this is a perfect square, and so x is equal to 3. Number 37. What's the value of x in this equation? So you have this. We know that it's a bank account compounded annually, which doesn't really matter. They show deposit. So the thing that stands out here is this 2%. So it would be 1.02 because it increases by 2%. So when you multiply by 1.02, that means an increase of 2%. So that's the answer. Then number 38, her friend found an account that has 2.5%. This doesn't matter. It doesn't matter when it's annually. And her friend made an initial deposit of $100 into this account at the same time. She made a deposit of $100 into her account. After 10 years, how much more money will her friend have earned more than Jessica's initial deposit? So for this, so the equation for her would be her friend would be 100, and then by the same logic as the previous question is that to the power of t, and then we have Jessica's equation, which is t. Okay, now we just plug in 100 into t here, or not 100, 10. We plug in 10 into t and find the values they have after 10 years. So we can do that by using a calculator. So we have 100 times 1.025 to the power of 10. So that's 128.01. And then Jessica's would be that, but instead of 1.025, it's just 1.02. The answer is that on the calculator, 0.90. And we can see that when you subtract it here, you can do that on the calculator. 128.01 minus 121.9, 6.11, and that is your answer. And that is all for the calculator section of the first official SAT practice test.